I'm joined today by Murray Hill, Managing Director of Elevate Uranium. Always good to chat to you, Murray.
Always good to be here.
You put out some news recently, a drilling update for your Namib IV prospect. Talk us through what you found.
Yeah, well, now we've extended the drilling, the mineralised envelope, to about 11 by 7.5. That's a huge area. And when you consider that Copies is like 20 kilometres long and probably about 3 to 4 kilometres wide, this is a great area. But we know that it breaks up a little bit through here. And that's one of the reasons why we're taking so long, because we'll drill a little bit more and think, oh, hang on, we're nearly closed it, but then another hole, and no, we're not. So it's just the area's just getting bigger, which is good.
And in terms of the deposit and style of mineralisation, what are the results telling you?
Yeah, look, it's very similar in terms of the basement style, the weathered basement style to Copies. We started Copies in the Paleo channel and we moved out and found a lot of weathered basement mineralisation, shallow. And then what we come down to Namib IV, previously the focus was on paleo channels. We didn't get a lot of uranium, but now with the learnings from Copies, we've brought that down to Namib IV, and we're seeing most of the mineralisation now is in weathered basement. So very similar in style to Copies, shallow, near surface mineralisation.
And you mentioned then you keep drilling holes and finding more in the area. So in terms of the timeline to a maiden resource, you're saying end of the year?
Yeah, look, we were targeting the end of the year, but that's on the proviso that we've defined the mineralised envelope. We then select areas within that to do infill drilling. But while your mineralised envelope's continuing to increase in size, we haven't sort of pinned exactly where we're going to drill. So it's great news because we keep increasing the area, mineralisation area, but at the same time it's probably going to delay the resource estimate because what's the best area to drill? Have we actually drilled it yet in terms of our extension drilling?
So assuming end of the year is when you're putting out a maiden resource, what does that mean for the broader Copies project?
Well, it means a great deal. Copies is now a £66 million project. Adding some more pounds here either increases your annualised production rate or increases your life of mine. And the other thing about it is it's so close to Copies in terms of, Copies is 50% within 7 metres of surface. In the announcement, all of the drill holes we've got in this announcement with mineralisation of appreciable numbers are less than 6.5 metres it starts. So it's probably going to be a similar depth profile. So we know that it's a low cost, low strip ratio mining at Copies. That's going to come down to Namib IV. So yeah, we think it's going to add significant value to Copies.
And next steps, so still actively drilling?
Still actively drilling. One thing I missed on saying, we're 10 kilometres basically from the top of Namib IV to the bottom of Copies. So, and when you consider Copies is 20 kilometres long, we're almost in the, extension to it. So next steps, we'll continue to drill, define the mineralised envelope, and once we're happy with defining the mineralised envelope, we'll come back in and start our infill drilling.
So you'll keep the market updated on that timeline?
We will. We'll give them an update regularly to make sure they know what we're doing.
Awesome. You also announced drilling success at your Marenica project. What's the update there?
Yeah, that was exciting. We didn't expect that. We went out, did some ground truthing, some bit of mapping, and the geos in Namibia found something they liked. They put a hole in it, and you hit 13 metres of mineralisation from 8 metres, so it was a fantastic outcome. It's a different style of mineralisation. It's still secondary uranium, but it's within sort of granite, so it's shallow, which is great news, but it's also different. We have to sort of understand that better. So we continue the hole down to 60 odd metres till we hit sort of marble, and we were seeing mineralisation down to about 58.5 metres. So in that hole, down to about 58 where we hit mineralisation, 24 metres of sort of composite mineralisation, so great outcome. We now need to go back and we need to do some mineralogy on it, understand it, and we also need to do work on the drill holes around it, historical drill holes. They haven't gone to the same depth, they're generally shallow, but look at lithology, look at sort of occurrence of mineralisation and how it all relates to each other. So it's really, it's kicked off a big revision of Marenica. What is that? Why is it there? We think we understand why, and then what we're going to do is compare that to everything around it historically. But as we know, it's probably not drilled in the right area or the right depth. But it's exciting because it's a new style of mineralisation and opens up significant potential.
In the short term then, are you planning more drilling at Marenica?
No, we're not going to drill. We're going to sit back and do some real geology, understand what it is, because we can go and drill. Yeah, that'd be exciting, maybe find some more, but let's understand it better and then target our drilling. Because drilling a little bit deeper holes, we're down to 60 metres, it costs you a little bit more. We're always conservative of how we approach it, but we want to make sure that we know what we're doing and understand it. So it's also triggered a complete review of the Marenica resource. We're in that stage now. We want to understand, it's a low-grade resource. We want to understand this is a high-grade pods, what is there, and what have the old timers missed? Because when I say old timers, 2011 was the last drill hole on it. It's not so much old timer, but it is something we want to do. We want to go back and really understand that resource, how it relates to this new mineralisation style, and how we can add to that and refine it. Maybe there's a higher grade resource sitting in the middle of this we've missed. And
you mentioned then last drill hole on it was 2011. Copies has been the immediate focus, especially with upgrade and the demonstration plant. Do these results potentially impact or change that?
2012 I joined the company, and the first thing I did was went to Namibia within the first week, and we excavated test pits on Marenica to grab samples to then do a complete metallurgical test work program, which led to the development of Upgrade. So Upgrade was developed on Marenica. We know it works on it. We know it adds significant value to it. So if we've spent the capital on a pilot plant, it's in Namibia, we've run it on copies, there's a small incremental cost to run it on Marenica, so it would probably make sense. So yeah, in this review process we're doing on Marenica itself, it'll probably come out that where we go and what we do, and we'll more than likely run a pilot plant on it.
So news flow for the foreseeable future with respect to Marenica? Yeah,
it'll be around the sort of review process. Where we're at with every hole that's been drilled, how it fits into the resource, and just work out where we go from there.
And lastly, you're on your way, or you're leaving soon to North America to go to the one-to-one conference and meet with investors and other groups. What's the expectation for your time there?
Well, going to one-to-one in New York and meeting investors outside of that and uranium specialists is we don't need money. We're in a great position. We've got a lot of money in the bank, but it's awareness. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is what we've got. And just so that next time we need investors, they're there, or I love them buy a market. Last year I was there. I said to a bloke at drinks, I said, you haven't seen the best company here. And he said, well, I was sat in the front row of your presentation and I'm going to buy stock on market. So I think the importance is investors understanding who we are. And right now is a great time to invest. The market's been hit pretty hard. Uranium's come off, presenting opportunities. So I think it's good timing to go. So I'm going to New York and then Toronto. They're both sort of uranium capitals of North America. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, safe travels, and
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing more updates when you're back.
Thank you.